Good morning, Yorkshire Classic Cars Ltd fans. Welcome to another sunny, beautiful, bright and breezy and stone cold day in sunny Retford. I've got the hat on. This is about as far as I go in my workshop. It's a pretty warm workshop. You don't need much in here. However, the hat is on to keep my head nice and warm. So you'll notice if you look behind me, after having a very busy week, I've been away. I had a week off, not this week, obviously the week before, half-term week. Hence why there was no update. Sorry about that. I'll also mention at this point, I've activated supers, I think they're called, on my page. So if you'd like to give me a small donation or do a like, however it is, and it costs you a couple of quid, I'd really appreciate it. I'm hoping to buy a GoPro and some other stuff like that. I'm obviously not going to go wild and spend your £2 on something frivolous. I'm not buying my girlfriend presents for Christmas. It will also go towards some of the cars. If you do that, if you appreciate the stuff I do on there, so the advice and the videos that are explaining things and stuff, it's a feel nice, but don't feel obliged. Obviously, I do this because I enjoy doing it. I'm not expecting to make millions of pounds out of it. It'd be nice if I did, but I'm a realist. So you'll notice behind me, the Mini has gone. There's a huge gap on the ramp where the Mini was. It hasn't left. He hasn't fallen out of me and taken it away. It's gone off to the engine builder. I delivered it yesterday. Lovely guy. He's called Jim. You can always trust an engine builder called Jim. It's a good, reliable engine builder's name. The engine looks absolutely fantastic. Joking aside, it looks perfect. Twin SUs, 11 stud head. It's a SPI block, I believe they've used. And it's been drilled for 11 studs. MED cylinder head. It's got a lot of nice parts in it. Aluminium roller rockers, etc., etc. So that's given me a little bit of a window here for, he said 2 weeks, but we're a bit like builders. So you bring it in, you go 2 weeks, and then when you start, it usually ends up a bigger job than you expected. I don't think it'll take the whole 2 weeks, truth be told, unless he's got other jobs planned in between, but that's his business, not mine. So it's given me a little bit of a window. The Spitfire is still here, you'll notice. I've managed to obtain a steering column for that because there's about 1/4 of an inch of lift. I'll show you. I did point towards the steering wheel yesterday, and I think the steering lock is on, so you may not be able to see the lift in it, but there's a load of lift in the wheel. You see it a bit there. Some of it is the column isn't right in the car. There's a little clip goes in the column there that bolts in between, and if you don't get that in, which I know it definitely isn't because I've had a nosy, that makes the column lift against the chassis, but also there's about sort of 3/16 5 mil of play in the actual column in the bushes, so it's a bit disconcerting to drive. So I've managed to get a new column. Well, I say a new column, it's 50 years old, just like the other one in the car. It's there, just been putting a little coat of paint on it yesterday. So that's going to go in probably today or tomorrow. I forgot this week, whilst I was so embedded in the Mini for 12 hours a day, I forgot to ring the chap to come and fit the windscreen. The screen is here, the rubber is here, the trims are here. So that's basically all that needs doing is the column and the screen. Everything else is done. Just needs a clean and a tidy up. I think the seat belts might just need the bolts running up, but that's a 15-second job. And then that should be away next week, which should allow me a window of opportunity. Oh, yes. To spray the doors and the interior on the Capri. I want it green in there. I debated satin black with rattle cans. It works for Cletus McFarland. But I think his car's a bit more involved than mine is, so maybe it's not as fast as you think it is doing it satin black. I'm not a big fan of doing them black inside. I like them body colour. It makes a lot more work, but, I'd rather it be body colour. It's not going to be a show-winning job. It's just going to be a job. So I'm hoping to get that painted, and the doors. I want to do the doors first because obviously I had 5 litres of paint mix, so I want the doors to match the rest of the car. If I have to have extra paint mix for the interior, doesn't really matter if it doesn't quite match, as long as it's close. And under the bonnet, I'm going to wash down the engine, so hopefully I'm going to do this today. Take the engine out, split the transmission, wash it down, strip the superfluous bits and pieces off it, and check the crankshaft out. I'm hoping the crank is tip-top. It came out of a Range Rover, that engine. I bought it off eBay blind. It's not seized. It rotates. It's got compression, which is always, a bonus. If the crank is in good condition, I'm going to change the bearings in the crank, and that's it. I'm going to send it next year. it's all just a plan to get it on the road. If you know, once it's on the road and I've got all the little, there's always a breaking in period. Once I've got all the little knickknacks and odds and sods all sorted and it's all running reliably and you know, respectably, I can then build probably a forged engine for it and up the boost a little bit. But currently I just want it to run and get a few runs in and shake it down a little bit. So yeah, so that's the big plan. A few bits of welding, engine out today, then back on with the Spitfire, but the Spitfire's got to be done. The car with no name, I'm going to be on with that too. It needs a good service. You know, I want to go through the brakes and all the transmission and everything for him, you know, the joints and stuff. And then I'm going to treat it underneath. And then that can come back down. There's just a couple of little sort of I's to dot and T's to cross, and that can go back to the owners. The F350 is still here. Obviously, it's waiting for its hub here on the floor to be reattached. The parts have now arrived, the fuel tank, the seals, the bearings, sorry, not the bearings, the brake shoes. So that's all ready to be built back up. Obviously, I need a dry day because it's marooned outside while I've had the back end off it. Need to get some new wheels for it. I've found out it's got split rim wheels, which are not a safe thing. So I think we're going to have to try and source him some new wheels. The fuel tank has come when I get that in 2-pack, especially while the Mini is away. So yeah, busy few weeks. It's nice to be busy, or this busy in November. You can tell the weather's been a little bit better this year, although that usually means we have a really hard winter, so who knows from here on in. But yeah, so that's where we stand this week. That's where we stand last week. Hope you like the update. Please like and subscribe. If you want to send a super donation, whatever it is, feel free to do so. I'm not going to get rich out of that £1.40, I don't think, but it would be nice to amass enough to pay for the stuff I've bought, like the microphones and the GoPros and stuff like that I'd like to get. So yeah, thanks for that. Stay in touch. Bye-bye.